All right, Kev, we're back. Sunday night tradition, the Wait for It Seattle podcast on C-Town Sports. And we finally made it, Kev. We made it.
How have we made it?
We have our first troll on the site. We each got trolled by Marta.
And how did she roast you?
Well, first of all, she didn't roast me. She said there were holes in my article about the storm, but did not provide any evidence for such holes in the article, but decided to get really upset about it late at night.
Yeah. I will apologize because I didn't try to defend you right away. I said what holes?
Yeah,
Question
you were
mark.
awesome. Like late at night, I checked it in the morning. I'm like, Kev is on this. Oh my
Uh
God. It
yeah.
was great. She didn't respond.
Yeah. Well, then she went to my article and pointed out, which I always make this mistake,
Yeah.
that certain guys get traded and signed.
Right.
I could have just said this person was added and sucked for the Mariners, and it was of course Jorge Polanco. The only streak he has going with it in any form is me mentioning him every week, and so this was him being mentioned. Marta called out an error that I said that we signed him when we traded for him.
Which is the
So
definition of a troll, right? You're just
yeah,
like poking things. And mine, she like couldn't say what the problem was. She just didn't like the premise that
yeah,
not the Sounders, sorry, the Storm maybe couldn't win
yeah,
the WNBA championship. But shout out, Marta. I bet you're not listening since you told us that we're fake journalists, which
yeah.
we are.
We were not charging you. This is a
Yeah.
completely free product.
The
So,
internet is free. There's lots of places to read.
uh,
All right.
let's go
Well, here
to
we go. Let's
Kevin
get
Kelly
into it.
time.
Kevin Kelly time for all of you listening. The hashtag 15. All right, Kevin Kelly time. First down, Kev. Seattle Mariners. Your Seattle Mariners. By the way, Jorge Polanco, kind of good lately.
He
Uh,
almost had a home run last night. He
no,
jacked it in the ninth
he
inning.
he hit one today.
Oh, he hit one
Yeah,
today.
Jorge's here.
uh,
You know who's not here?
Ty France
Ty France.
on a Sunday,
Um,
man. That is, I
on
mean,
a
he'll get,
Sunday.
oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Do
Ty
you think
France
he,
actually wasn't in the lineup today, which was a
oh,
sign. He batted ninth, I believe, yesterday. Not a good sign. He actually played today because Julio got hurt. Thank goodness, x-rays are negative. But he entered the game, played the rest of the game, grounded into a double play, I believe, which is his specialty, and then was put on waivers after the game. So Ty France, I did see something from Ryan Divish that said he could actually be on the roster and playing while he's going through the waiver process.
do you think he has any motivation to
I think that's
do
weird.
anything for
Yeah,
the
and
Mariners?
they said Tyler Locklear's coming up. He's in our top
Yeah,
10 prospects, and he can't be worse. In fact, I got some information for you, Kev, if you want to hear how
please
bad Ty
drop it.
France has been.
Yeah.
So Ty France, he was a 2022 All-Star. He had a great 2021. Since the 2022 All-Star game, so that's 2.5 years, right? Or I guess we're at the half, so 2 years. 239 average, 29 home runs total in 1,265 plate appearances.
That's pretty bad. Well,
Yeah,
what's really bad about it though is that the position he plays, you have to hit better than
yeah.
239. 239 is actually like, I know I'm setting the bar very low here, but in the Mariners lineup, if there's a dude hitting 239, you're not the worst by any means. But
Yeah,
at that
unfortunately, he's
position,
not hitting
yes,
239 in this year.
right now he's not.
And to your point, that is actually sadly almost league average. And his WRC plus, which is I don't even know what it stands for, but I know that 100 is league average, and he's 100 over that 2 year span. So he's basically a
Here,
league average player.
here's my bad take exposed.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Prior to the fantasy baseball season, shout out to the Jim Cogabello's Memorial Fantasy League.
Mm,
Um, I drafted Ty France very late, convinced that his offseason at Driveline in
yeah.
Kent would turn him around. And he was actually started out kind of decent. Like
No, he was good. Yeah, to start.
hit
I
a couple
think.
home runs.
Yeah,
Like he looked
yeah,
like, oh my God, he figured it out. Like all it
yeah,
took was a couple of sessions in Kent.
yeah.
Uh, he didn't
So
make it. past the end of July.
Shout out to Ty France. Um, he will not be on the Mariners anymore. Hopefully, the Mariners will add a couple pieces, but I'm guessing nobody by the next time we podcast because everybody works on a deadline. And if you're the Blue Jays trying to trade Vladimir Guerrero Jr. or the White Sox trading Luis Robert, why would you trade early? Like you're going to wait for the offers to come in, people to feel pressure. So Twitter really wants a move now, and I get it because they still don't hit well, losing two
Yes.
out of three to the Astros. Um, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen till the deadline,
Yeah.
or at least a couple days before. Like I think Luis Castillo was 3 days before the deadline, which is pretty rare. Um, I just don't see a big move happening this week, even though
Yeah.
we need it.
And the Mariners fan base, some people are lamenting. Dipoto was on sports radio last week.
Hmm.
Kind of, there were some quotes about, the market's not great. They may add like a big. That's all smoke and mirrors. Don't listen to any of that. We have no idea what he's thinking and
Right.
what they're trying to pull off. So,
Right.
um,
Now, I think you can assess him based on results, right? So like
yes,
the reality is for 2 years they've been a bad offense. For 2 years they've had great pitching. This year, historic starting pitching. The bullpen is shaky. We talked about that weeks ago, saying they needed to add an arm, which hopefully they still do. And with all that said, they're tied for first place. They pulled out a win today. They restored my faith in humanity. And they are
barely.
tied for first place.
Yeah, they're still in it. It's end of July.
Yep.
This is not a thing where I mean, August, September. This is how it's been the past 2 years.
And I
Like,
believe, right, Kev,
yeah,
I think they have the tiebreaker against the Astros. We're actually good against them this year overall. I'm trying to
that I
find
mean,
that.
this is the benefit of a hot start, which,
Yep.
if they go, they went on these runs the past 2 years, these historic runs. They don't really need that this year. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
they just need to
it's
play
it's
well, right?
literally
Like,
I want to say August is like a make or break month, but I don't know if it is. Like, if let's say they theoretically go 500 in August, and maybe like best case scenario, like floor wise, is if they're like 2 games back at the end of August.
yeah, I
I have no
mean,
idea if we're there. I'd be
that would
happy as a Mariners fan if we're 2 games back of the ALS and in the wild card
they just need to
entering into
play
September.
better,
Yeah,
like they're not in the I mean, they have a better chance at the West, the wild card right now.
yeah.
They do play the Red Sox coming up, who they're in the hunt with, which makes me nervous. Because every game makes me nervous.
Speaking of nervous, you nervous about Julio's injury today? A little
um, this is
ankle
gonna be an.
issue.
This is talk about hot takes. I don't. I don't know. Is Julio that good this year? Is it make that big of a difference?
Ha!
Is that terrible?
I was more thinking like, yeah, just tape that thing out. But it's not like basketball or football where you're just constantly moving and you're not really thinking of the pain.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a messed up ankle and you're just standing in the outfield through a 2 hour game, like that just is painful to me to think about
Yeah,
that.
it'd be interesting if he can DH, but you know, that might be.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes Garver out of the lineup, but like, who cares at
Oh
this point?
yeah. Oh, big. Oh, I'm worried about that.
Back to my point, the Mariners are six
Yeah.
and four against the Astros,
Yeah.
and they have three more games against them at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So they could theoretically lose if they got swept. They would lose the season series, but that means they have to beat the Astros one more time, and if they finish tied with them, they'd have the tiebreaker, which would be a
Good
big deal.
stuff. Good
So
stuff.
they just need to start winning series. Like they're not winning series, right? Go win some
Yeah.
series, get it done. But this is way too even keeled and way too much information on the Mariners, Kev. So let's go to second inning.
All right, second down. Well, kind of Mariners related, but we'll keep it quick.
Yeah.
I'm interested in your take on this. Alex Rodriguez was on sports radio again. For I'm mentioning sports radio again, but A Rod was uh, came on Brock and Salk,
Yep.
and uh, they were asking him about his legacy as a Mariner, and one interesting point was, well, why do people in Seattle not like him as much as maybe the Griffeys and the Edgars and all the other guys from the glory years? And it's because he left Texas for $252 million.
Yep.
Um, and he made this point about like now athletes are
Mhm.
celebrated for getting these huge contracts. And he was basically campaigning during the interview, like, get me back in Seattle. Like, I want to celebrate my time there. Um, and I want to thank the fans for what they meant to my career. There's a couple complexities if this were to ever happen, but I think one thing that's not complex is that A Rod was killed it when he was in Seattle.
Yes.
Like he was there from 96 to 2000. You put
Well,
his
94, he technically
94, yeah,
debuted,
yeah.
but really 96. You're right. Yeah.
96 was like, yeah,
His
and
first
was
big
one of
game.
his best seasons. If you take his numbers, I don't think you could, maybe only Griffey could put together like, that's like, how many seasons is that?
Like
Six,
a
four
4 year
year
stretch.
span.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no one will come close to what he
Yeah.
did. And he's unquestionably one of the best hitters to ever play in a Mariners uniform.
Yep.
Um, should the Mariners retire A Rod's number?
Oh, you went too far. I actually, so I loved A Rod when I was in high school. I often get excited about the next big young player, right? I thought one time on a podcast we should just go through the list of Mariners I thought were going to be superstars that I like was like, here they come, the Dustin Ackleys of the world and the Gil Meshes and all this. A Rod, I was pumped. Fun fact: A Rod was on deck when Edgar hit the double in 1995. He pinch ran for Felix Fermin, who was the shortstop. And I remember being in the kingdom saying to myself, I hope A Rod gets up to win this game. Like, I just wanted that moment. Thank God Edgar won it because who knows? He was like 19, 18, whatever A Rod was when that happened, or 20. He hit 358 his first full year at the Mariners. Like, he's incredible. He had incredible numbers. I just don't think he played long enough to get his jersey retired. But I am over being upset about A-Rod.
Yeah.
Like, I think his point is right. Like, we celebrate huge contracts. We think it's great. But at that time, those players were villains. Like, we were pro owner and we were so wrong. Like, we were just like, you know what? These billionaires really have it tough. Like, what were we doing? But something, I mean, there's great books about it. Like,
Yeah.
there was something that was ingrained in us through the media, but also just narratives that like players seeking more money was bad. And
Yeah.
I think people celebrated free market more and just thought like, wait a second, they deserve what they're worth. And if some billionaire wants to pay them, cool. Um, and the narrative is totally shifted. A-Rod's right. Like, if he did that now, I mean, Mariners fans would be pissed, but I don't know. Do Nationals fans get pissed at Bryce Harper? Did he leave for a contract or did he get
Yeah.
traded? I can't remember.
I
Yeah.
think yeah, no. No one does
Yeah,
anymore. It's
yeah, I
totally
just don't think I don't know. It's not you know what? Hot take. I'm not even mad at Russell Wilson anymore. Give
yeah, that'll take a
give
while.
give me all the number threes back in Seattle,
Yeah.
baby. Let's go.
uh speaking about number threes, third down.
Oh, what a transition.
The
Professional.
the WNBA media deal.
Yeah.
We've been talking about women athletes getting paid more.
Yep.
What are the details of this new deal?
All right. So it's interesting because it's I think it's the only sports league in which their media rights are tied into another league's media rights. So the NBA controls the WNBA actually. And this was great for years. There's some great articles you could find. I would suggest going to a website, Sports Media Watch. You can also find all TV ratings there for sports, which is pretty cool. And they kind of outlined that it was great when the WNBA was floundering and people weren't watching. And this deal now, which would be 11 years, $200 million, I think. It's about $20 million a year, or sorry, $200 million a year for the WNBA and media rights, which is way higher than they have now. But there are people, including Cheryl Miller, who, great, probably the best women's basketball player of all time. Didn't have a professional league like we did now. She coached in the WNBA All-Star game. Some other people who actually work in the WNBA saying this is undervalued. And they're kind of tied into the NBA. And so I started to investigate whether I thought it is undervalued or not. So I'm going to give you some numbers and I want to hear your reaction. Okay. So the best comparison I could find is the MLS. So the MLS with Apple got a 10-year, $2.5 billion deal. The WNBA's is going to be 11 years, 2.2 billion. So less money than the MLS. Um,
Wait, MLS was 2.2 billion
2.5 billion over 10 years
and
from
WNBA
Apple.
is 200
No,
million.
2.2 billion over 11 years for the WNBA. So it's
Got it.
comparable to the MLS, but it's a little less. MLS has an average in 2021, which is the last time we could get TV ratings because Apple doesn't share information. 285,000 viewers. This year, on average, the WNBA, 505,000 viewers. So by that alone, you would say this is undervalued. Um, and like the PGA Tour, I was like, what's golf? They get 700 million per year in TV rights. But 9.5 million people watch the Masters.
Yeah. You
Like
get 4 weekends of golf where you're gonna get
for all
for
that money.
for
Exactly.
all that
Yeah.
money.
It's hard. Yeah,
The
it's hard
interesting
to
thing
find a
about the
comparison.
WNBA, I, for the
Yeah.
first time, am watching like games that don't involve the storm. Like
Hmm.
if Caitlin Clark's on, I'm gonna watch. If Angel Reese is on, I'm gonna watch. If the Aces are on, I'm gonna watch.
Hmm.
Here's the thing: there's only 12 teams, so you're seeing the repeat matchups. The league itself is only lasting what 4 months,
Yeah.
and I think that's shorter than the NBA. Am I
Oh,
wrong?
they're half
Yeah,
the amount of
yeah.
games.
And
Now
so that's
they
kind of the
are
issue, right? There's
right.
not enough product out there.
Yeah, that's true, right? That's part of that valuation for sure. Their viewership has gone up. Ratings per year in 2020, which is hard, right? Because it's COVID, but 205,000. Last year's 372,000 average. This year, 505. So it's going up. It's increasing. Um, the Caitlin Clark effect is real. Whether people want to acknowledge it or get pissed about it, seems like there's a animosity among players a little bit. Well, here's a fact: 11 of the top 14 viewed games this year are Indiana Fever games.
And they suck.
Yeah, I mean they're in the
They're
playoffs,
not
right? But
as
they're not the
good.
Aces, they're not the Liberty, right?
They're not the
Um,
Storm. Yeah.
but counter to that, the 2023 finals saw a 36% increase in TV ratings from the year before. So was it already coming? And then Caitlin Clark made it even better. And the big question is, what happens in the next 2 years? And one article I read that had a great point is it's too bad the WNBA can't wait and find out. Like in 2 years, what's
What the
it like? And it's a
valuation is. Yeah.
gamble because maybe this is the right time to strike.
Yeah.
Um, it's hard to tell, but my instinct would say people are going to keep watching. People are watching the college tournament. It's 65 million bucks ESPN paid for the NCAA women's basketball tournament per year. That's pretty big, way more than it was before. NWSL we talked about before on this podcast is up 60 million a year, way higher than it was before. People are watching women's sports. They're investing in women's sports. It's going to continue. Um, it with all that said, whether it's undervalued or not, it is a positive for the league.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
expanding in the next 2 years. They're talking about adding 4 games to the schedule, which seems small, but if you're going from 40 to 44, that is a big deal. And they should have higher salaries. Like that's one thing we've talked about on here.
Yes.
That TV media rights deal will allow them to have higher salaries,
Yep.
and that's a good thing.
Yep. I'm not going to disagree with you there.
All
So
right,
let's go to
fourth down.
fourth down.
Fourth down. This one will be even quicker.
Sounders.
Seattle Sounders, who have been on a run. I texted you. I said, should I write an article? Are the Sounders back? I couldn't really find the angle other than they're winning. Jordan Morris is in incredible form right now. Form is what they say in soccer, Kev. They say incredible form. Yeah, it's a thing. I learned that from Andy Hendricks. Shout out. You think Andy Hendricks is listening to this podcast?
Hopefully he listened to the last one with
Yeah.
his former
True.
players.
Yeah, he might have actually done that one. He's not
So,
listening to this one. There's no way. But Jordan Morris was playing great. Rui Diaz, we talked about him and Chu, and Rui Diaz was coming off the bench in the 60-minute mark every match. And then they went out, played LAFC. Brian Schmetzer called it the biggest game of the year. Got to have everybody there. And the Sounders got smoked. They lost 3-0. It
reality
wasn't good.
check.
It wasn't
They're
good.
riding high. Maybe they need some of those dudes that are in the doghouse.
I don't know what they need. I mean, it's you can get into the depths if you read Sounder at Heart, great website. They talk about that they're kind of limited. There's like this, I think he's Croatian, but now he doesn't want to come. Like, I don't know if they have a move in them, but they are winless against the top 11 teams in the MLS. That is not good.
It's actually really bad.
Yeah, so they beat bad teams and they have an okay record and they're kind of middle of the pack, which
Well, let me ask you
sad.
this as a coach. So it seems like a lot of the time you hear the opposite, like, oh, teams played it down to the other team's level, which is an
Yeah,
issue, right? You kind of got to break that. Um, have you ever had a team or, yeah, I guess, yeah, in your coaching career where the team is just like meeting their expectations and not really um beating teams that they can't that are better than them
yeah,
and they're beating teams that they should beat.
for
How do you
sure.
get over
That has
that
been,
hump?
it's been a challenge. It was a challenge the last few years I coached actually with the teams I've had. I had good teams, teams that went to state, but like beating the top teams in state was tough. Last year I had a team that we got a couple wins over teams that were probably better than us, and so that was it like affirms your belief in that you can do it. And so I think the Sounders are lacking that. But I've had teams where we never beat someone who was better than us, but we beat everybody else who we should have. And you have an okay year, but you never feel like you're as good as you could be,
Yeah,
versus you get one win at the end of the year against a good team, like it just changes everyone's tune about your season and how good it can be. So Sounders have time. They have this La Liga Cup now, which is not, and they have the US Open Cup still, and they have an Olympic break in there. They have all this stuff going on. So they have plenty of time to kind of figure it out and still have MLS action when they come back. So season's so long. I mean, the MLS season, you think a baseball season is long. The MLS season, like it goes to October, and then playoffs, if you're good, if you go to the championship, it's in December. And then they come back and train in February. It's insane.
yeah.
That's
uh,
crazy. So, as a former Sounders season ticket holder, it was a lot. It's a lot of games.
yeah,
It's a long season. So, Sounders still have time, but hey, maybe beat someone better than you.
yeah, we'll still be talking about them in the fall.
Yeah, we'll have
uh
plenty of. Well, no, we won't. We'll be talking about football. Sorry, Sounders. Unless you beat somebody, then we'll talk about you. How about that?
uh all right. Insert advertisement when it happens.
Yep, here it comes.
How about we take this break to tell you to subscribe to our Substack, tell a friend about it. Um, Somehow Marta found our website. So if Marta can find our website, maybe you can tell a friend to find our
Yep.
website.
We got a
Uh,
special thing coming once we get to 100 subscribers on the Substack. So,
yes, yeah,
yeah,
we're getting there.
we're getting
So
closer.
let's move to our main segment here. Olympics preview.
What
Paris
shirt am I
20
wearing, Kev?
2024, United States of America.
United States of America. You know why?
Is that an Olympic shirt?
It is from Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh,
It's an
nice.
Olympics shirt. I saw it on the Instagram today. The athletes actually have this shirt. I'm like, how did I get it? I mean, I'm a
Looks
two-time Seattle Prep Hall of Famer, but I'm not an Olympic athlete. That's a true fact, by the way.
Gosh, that was a humble brag. All right, how are we gonna
It
do
sure
this
was.
Olympic? How are we gonna do this Olympics
Okay,
preview?
so the Olympics preview. My point about wearing this shirt for you, though, is I don't find myself to be a patriotic guy. Like, I feel blessed to live in this country. There are some wonderful things. I also have a lot of critiques I could say sometimes, right? Like your family. You
Yeah,
critique your family,
yeah.
whatever. But when the Olympics come around, my goodness, I throw on that USA shirt. I'm gonna throw on my Sean Kemp USA basketball jersey that I have. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
you have one? That's
I'll wear
so
it next
cool.
week. And I'm ready to roll, man. So that's the challenge of how we're gonna do this preview because I sent you a list of a lot of sports,
Yeah.
and we're gonna do a mini draft.
All
We're gonna
right.
go back and forth, and we're gonna draft players, teams, and we're gonna keep track of their results. So, for example, you're going to get the first pick and you have this whole list, and I'll list them off before we start just so everybody can hear it. And then they can write it down and track. I'm sure people do that. They have like their own notepad and they're like writing this down. Kev will have the first pick. Let's say Kev says, "Oh, I want to do the women's all around gymnastics." And then he picks his favorite. I have to then pick the next best person I think could get a medal. And then we move on to the next sport where it's my turn. And so there's some strategy in terms of what sport you pick first. Which one do you think has the best odds? I shared with you the research I did from DraftKings, different odds and stuff like that. Um, except for women's breakdancing, which I forgot to research. So that would be interesting. And that is one of ours. And then we'll keep track as the Olympics go on. We'll see who wins. And I think the loser, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking the loser should have to buy and wear a t-shirt of the other person's college, but I'm guessing you already have a Santa Clara shirt.
I don't. I don't.
Oh,
I'd have to go
okay.
to the bookstore and get one. But I
Okay.
that's totally within
Okay.
the realm of
I've
possibility.
never
So,
owned an LMU shirt.
all right, let's do it.
Okay,
There's our
that's
bet.
the bet.
There's our
That's the
bet.
bet.
All right.
Perfect. Okay.
All right.
All right. I don't
So
mind supporting LMU for you, Kev, if I have
all
to.
right, I get first pick, right?
Yep.
I'm
Do you
so
want
ready
should I
for
list
this.
the sports or no?
No, let's just go
All right, we're
off
just
and
jumping in. Here we
yeah,
go.
let's just jump in. All right.
Okay.
So one of the categories is uh the women's 4x2 swim freestyle
Oh,
relay.
wow, you're jumping into the 4x2 right
All
away.
right. I read one preview that said there's no better shoe-in than this happening, and it's Australia winning this
Ooh.
event. They have
Ooh.
two of the fastest women in um the the 200-meter freestyle that are in this event.
Yeah.
Ari Arn Titmus and
Yeah.
Molly O'Callahan.
Look at you.
Uh
Watch those names as you're watching swimming, folks.
yes. So two of the fastest women in the world, and all the talk in the U.S. is about going to be about Katie Ledecky,
Yep.
which it should be. But she's not actually that fat, like as fast. So she's really good at distance stuff,
Yep.
but like the short distance stuff, she's still good.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be my first pick.
Okay, so I
I
just
want to
want to be
beat.
clear. I want to be clear
Yeah,
on this. The
yeah,
very first pick, you have USA women's and men's basketball, you got women's
yeah.
soccer, you got
No,
volleyball,
no,
track and
no.
field. You went Australia, number one overall.
And
Did
I chose
my
swimming. Swimming. Anything could go wrong in swimming too.
did my mini lecture on patriotism do nothing for you? Australia. I will
Australia.
gladly then, because I have to pick in this category. I could go Great Britain, but you know what? Great Britain lost to us in the Revolutionary War. USA, Kev. I will gladly wear this shirt, paint my face in the 4x2, and let's go, USA.
All right.
All right. So it's my pick. Well, if you want to win, I'm with you. I'm all in. I'm going women's basketball and I'm staying patriotic. USA. Do you know what their odds are on DraftKings? Minus 1800.
So can you translate to
Yep,
people that so
I
like
sure
if I bet
can.
$100 on
No, you have to bet 180 to win 10.
God.
That's how big of a favorite they are.
Even though they
So
lost, they're coming off a loss.
they lost to the WNBA All-Stars. They didn't lose to South Sudan, or the U.S. men's team almost lost to. Whew.
Yeah,
I had a whole
I
Oh,
stayed
Kevin, I
away
had a
from that
segment
pick.
ready for you on that. I was ready to
Yeah.
roll. I was going to talk about crunch time minutes and why Derek White's in, but I guessed you didn't want to go there. So
Yeah. So,
you got to pick a basketball team.
oh, easy, Australia.
All
And
right,
here's
Australia
why.
plus
Lauren
2200.
Lauren Jackson
Mm,
is going to be playing for Australia.
that is a good
This
call. That is pretty cool.
that is pretty cool.
Also,
And she's
Storm
not that bad.
players Sammy Whitcomb and Ezzy Magabor are both on Australia. So you got Storm all over the place. So that's fun. Um, I think the USA women's team is fascinating. I think you're right. It is a little, it raises an eyebrow that they lost to the WNBA All Stars, but I don't think the USA cared that much. They didn't seem like they were that into it. It is weird though. They have that game and they have one game against Germany, maybe tomorrow, and then that's it. They're into pool play.
Yeah.
Whereas the men's team has 6 exhibition games. Now, part of that's to sell tickets and
No,
merchandise.
I think they need the practice.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
kidding
Well,
me?
WNBA is in the middle of the season too, right? So like
Yeah.
that's part of it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's a storyline I think it's interesting to watch because part of it we're previewing the sports as you watch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So other than first storyline, sorry, is how much is Diana Taurasi going to play? She was the last person added, but she's the GOAT to me. I mean, she's incredible. Is she going to play a lot? She started against the WNBA All Stars, but I don't know if that's really going to happen in the Olympics.
I'm gonna take the third way here and kind of just avoid your question. Say it doesn't really matter
Oh,
because when you have Brianna Stewart and Asia Wilson, like my concern with with the US, and I don't think it's that big of a deal, but if I could like think of a concern, it'd be like they're way too top heavy. Like if one of those people got in foul trouble, like it's not like you could get one of these guards to go off and like carry the team. You need both of those. You need one of those players to be like your stud.
I mean, they still got Jewel Lloyd. They have
Yeah, I
Sabrina
know.
Ionescu. Like,
I'm saying that's why I'm not too worried,
yeah,
but
Nafisa Collier if she's back from
yeah.
injury. Yeah, they just yeah, they're loaded.
You know who's also loaded, and this would be my next pick.
Yeah, go
The
for it.
U.S. men's basketball team.
Oh, this is tough. Now I can't. Now I got to root again.
Yeah,
I'm not going to root against them.
yeah,
I'm going to root for
yeah,
them.
yeah. Well, this is what I'm doing with their pick. They're the favorites.
Yep.
Here's the thing: couple close, some close game against South Sudan,
Yeah.
which I was watching the press conference of their coach. He's like, "This country's existed for 13 years. These guys are grinding. Um, good for them."
Yep.
I was looking at the box scores of the the U.S. team in their exhibitions, and the minutes are pretty evenly
Yep.
like distributed. Steve Kerr's the coach. I think he's trying to figure out, how do I mesh these guys together? He's obviously got a bias towards Curry,
I don't
and
think it's a bias. I think Curry.
well, I think he's the best.
Well, he's
Um,
not the best. LeBron at 39 years old is who they gave the ball to when they needed a bucket.
yeah.
That's
So
that's awesome.
so here's what I think. I think Kerr I think he needs to keep it simple. And here's how you keep it simple. Curry's gonna get you buckets. The 3-point line is pushed in by I think it's a foot.
Yeah, it's a lot
Uh,
shorter.
yeah. And Anthony Davis is a beast inside. I
Yeah.
think you start those two people. Anthony Davis, when I say beast inside, he's a shot blocker.
Yep.
And if you watch the Serbia game, like
Yeah.
you can neutralize Jokic like that, and Jokic is the best player in the world. You can neutralize anybody. So
I have way too many thoughts on this.
yeah,
It's going to go on too long, so I'll try to limit it. I've been
yeah.
watching
So
a lot.
that's my point.
I
That's
think that the minutes are fascinating. I think the way he's going to figure it out. To me, USA men's basketball is more interesting than the NBA. Like I love it. I love the intrigue of like it looks like he's going to start Curry, LeBron, Drew Holiday, Embiid, and it's been Booker, but it'll probably be Durant.
So
if he's
Embiid
healthy.
over Anthony Davis.
Embiid, and I agree with you. Anthony Davis has been better, but they convinced Embiid to play for the USA. Like it's a whole thing. Anthony Davis will play more minutes than Embiid. I think the guys most likely to play the least are Halliburton and Derek White because they're not going to play 12 guys. I think Anthony Edwards is going to be an absolute stud in some games. Booker is sneaky good for them. And Anthony Davis, to your point, might be the most important player on that team.
Yeah, because he
Like
can neutralize the big guys, and that's
it,
how
well,
because
Embiid is good against Jokic. It's actually interesting. That's one, both of them. Like I was talking to a buddy, thinking about Jokic playing in the NBA finals. Like it's easier than playing against the USA Olympic team because he, for one quarter, he's going against Embiid, and the next quarter, it's Anthony Davis. Like that's insane. Right? I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy. So I am going to watch every minute of the USA men's basketball team, and I'm going to be here for all the drama. Like I love it. I
So who are you gonna
absolutely love it.
pick? Are you gonna pick a?
Yeah, this is the problem. Now I'm down to. I'm not picking Serbia. You know, I could. You got Jokic, and you got some other guys I can't. I don't know their names. It's down to Canada or France for me. Canada's good. They have a good team, but I hate Dylan Brooks. So I can't root for
It's
Canada.
Dylan
But
Brooks.
I can
Root
root
for
for Wemby,
yeah.
even though I have to root for Rudy Gobert. I'm going France, baby. I want to root for Wemby. Let's go.
There you go. There you go.
All
All
right,
right,
it's
you
back
get
to
the
me,
next
right?
pick. Yeah.
Back to me. Should I go crazy here? Should I go USA? Let's see. Oh, I'm going 400-meter women's hurdles. And I'm going for the queen, Sydney McLaughlin. Go USA. She's awesome.
That's great. That's a great pick.
Who do you
So that
who do you
yeah.
get then?
Well, I'll go with Nikisha Price from Jamaica.
Oh,
And
okay.
you'll kind of notice this with track. It's kind of like a US versus Jamaica
Totally.
for both women's and men's. Shrika Jackson's from Jamaica. Uh, she she'll also be in the 100 meters. Um, she ran a 48.57 in the 400 meters, so without the hurdles, without the thing you
Mhm.
jump over.
Yes, thank you.
And that was a better time than what McLaughlin came up with. So it'll be
No,
close.
Cindy McLaughlin's winning this. That's a guarantee.
All right, that's like that's how I feel about the Australian 4x2.
Oh,
So
also, did
okay,
you run hurdles in high school?
I did not,
Have you
but
ever run hurdles?
I tried, and
What happened?
I'm not tall enough. Like I can't do it.
I'm laughing because I never attempted a hurdle. Ever told you about my
um,
track career, Kev?
how long did it last?
Eighth grade, I ran track in CYO, and I tried to. I ran because there was a bunch of people in my class running, and then they all quit. So I was the only eighth grader. My mom wouldn't let me quit, so I had to keep running, and I got last place every time in the
Oh, that's
200,
really sad.
except for one race. I was like, I'm not losing. I'm not getting last today, and I caught this guy. It was a great feeling. he, he
Uh,
he was not in shape. Let me just say that, but I beat him. So
uh, that's a
track star.
great track career.
All right, you're up.
Um, Shout out to the 100 meters.
Okay. Are
Um,
we shouting it out or are we actually picking people?
ooh, who am I gonna pick here? I got two options. I got Noah Lyles or I got Kashani Thompson. I think it's gonna be Kashani Thompson.
Look at
Um,
you. You hate the USA.
I obviously do. He ran a 9.77 in June. Um, the world record for everyone listening, I think it's 9.69 Usain Bolt. Um, and Lyles is not 100. I mean, he's
He's
fast,
not. He's not a 100-meter
but he's a
person.
200 meter, and there's been better you like
Yeah.
100-meter runners. And I don't. There's other guys that can beat Lyles in this. He's just getting the
I think
press because he's in the U.S. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Thompson.
no Noah Lyles on Saturday ran a 981. So he's in the hunt.
He's in the
And so
hood.
I will take Noah Lyles, even though I've watched one episode of the Sprint show on Netflix, which I recommend.
Was he arrogant?
And he's weird. I'm not into Noah
Uh,
Lyles. I don't know. I like I'll root for him for country pride, but I don't know. He's
all right.
eclectic. I should be kinder. Like he's whatever. But there's some good tension in that show. It's worth watching. Uh like they on the tour, the sprinters, like I didn't know this, they like go all together around the world basically and sprint in
Yeah.
these races.
Diamond League.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but they like go to the cafeteria together and stuff. So they just like eat eggs and stare at each other and like basically talk mess to each other through trainers and it there's they do a good job on the show creating some tension. So
Sounds better than The Bachelorette. All right. What's
it's
the
me,
next
right?
pick?
It's me,
Yeah.
I think, right? Um, let's see. Let's head over to ooh, I'm gonna stay away from that one. Let's go to the 100-meter women.
All right.
And I'm absolutely staying thematic with the USA and my wife's favorite athlete right now, Sha'Carri Richardson. Her first time in the Olympics because last time she
She
smoked a
got
little weed and she wasn't allowed to go.
she got
So,
doped out, man.
yeah. So I'm going to take Sha'Carri in the 100-meter women, which
And
leaves you with who?
I'll go with Sharika then.
Yeah, you are Team
Um
Jamaica, baby.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
three track events.
Yeah. Yeah. Um what's crazy is that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, who's like the vet, she's
Hmm.
also from Jamaica. And she'll be a contender, but yeah, I'll go with Sharika.
There's another
Sharika and
contender in
Shikari.
the 100-meter women. I found Julian Alfred, and she's from St. Lucia, like the island.
Yeah, they've never won a medal. She could be the first to
That's
get
kind of
a
cool.
medal.
I feel like I should have taken her, but
Yeah.
oh well,
Um,
USA, baby.
we might as well just keep on going,
All right,
like knock out all the track.
let's do it.
Um, okay, so 200-meter men's.
Yeah.
All right. I really want to pick Lyles,
Oh
but
my
just for
God.
the sake of storylines,
Because you hate the USA.
Leslie Tobago from
You do
Botswana.
hate. Oh my
Yeah,
God. I'm losing
yeah,
my voice. You do
yeah.
hate the USA.
All right, but listen to this. All right, I read an interview with him.
Okay.
He talks about how he used to train without shoes for
Ooh.
football, which is soccer, and athletics. He said, I would wear a pair of old pants that one of my uncles used to wear back when he was in school. It was just a generational thing. So I don't understand why this, like, he went straight to, like, I wore pants, but not shoes. Anyways,
Yeah,
the
thank you for that detail.
interviewer, next question is, when did you first get your pair of new shoes for athletics? He goes, I think I got them after I broke the national record in 2020. And
My
then there was
God.
some like agency that represents um they're the agency that represents him. And they told me, you got great talent, take this and we'll keep on monitoring your progress. Like, here, take these free shoes, we'll
What?
monitor you, and if you're good enough, then we'll sign you.
This is
So
awesome.
this guy was training without shoes. Anybody that could train without like a crucial piece of equipment, I think they're gonna be pretty dang
Yeah,
good.
that's
So
awesome. I'm
I'm
on board with you. I want to pick him also. Also,
and
thank you
let's
for wearing pants, Leslie.
yeah,
Letsile. I
so
don't know how to say his name actually,
that's
so
who
I
I'm
feel
going
bad.
with for the 200-meter.
All right, Noah Lyles is the favorite,
Yeah.
but that's boring. I'm gonna go to the other American,
All right.
Kenneth Bednarik. I know
With the
nothing about him.
headband. With the headband. He
Oh,
wears a headband. He
well,
wears
I
like a
like
kung fu
headbands. That's
headband.
good.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean a kung fu headband?
Yeah. I think his name is Kung Fu Kenneth because he
What?
wears like
Oh yeah, he looks great. I just Google him.
yeah.
I like this guy. I'm all in. He's from Wisconsin, or he's born in Wisconsin. Yeah, I like Kung. If I don't know if your name is Kung Fu Kenny, but I'm in. He's my pick. All right, should we just round out the track
Yeah.
and field?
Just finish with the track. Yeah.
All right, so I 4x100 women's relay, and obviously I'm going to go with the United States of America, which is going to leave you with who, Kev?
Jamaica.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So to recap the five track events we have 100-meter men and women, 400-meter women's hurdles, 4x1 women's relay, and the 200-meter men. and you have four Jamaicans and one Botswanan. Is that where he's
Yeah.
from?
Yeah.
And I have five Americans.
Yeah.
All right, that's great.
Uh,
You're up. Where are we going?
uh, well, before we go there, I just want to
Yeah.
bring up guys without shoes. There's one guy at OMU that walked around campus without shoes. And I thought it was the weirdest thing. And he was in my class, and he went for 4 years just walking around without shoes.
Kev, I think his story is very different than our track star from Botswana. I don't think they have the same story. I think shoeless LMU guy is not an inspiring story that should be anyone should talk to.
I'm dying. All right. All
Oh,
right. Here, I'm gonna
oh man,
go. I'm gonna
that
go.
is incredible.
I don't
What's
know if
that
I'm gonna
guy's
be.
name? What's that guy's name?
I can't remember. I just remember for 4 years he never wore shoes around campus. It was amazing. Uh,
uh,
okay.
it's not the
Yeah.
same person, is it? His name
No.
wasn't okay. Okay, all right.
No. That'd be a twist. So I'm gonna just go complete 360. Well, I should go complete 900 because I'm gonna go to Women's Park skateboarding.
Your segues are incredible right now.
All right. Let me tell you about Arisa True.
Yeah, tell me about it.
She is 14 years old. She is the first woman ever to pull off a 900.
Let's
Now, she
go.
can't pull off a 900 in park skateboarding because park skateboarding is like at a skate park. Like it's not like a
Yeah.
whatchamacallit, a you're not just going back and forth where you can like get enough momentum to get in the air to get a 900. But I did some film work and I watched a
You
couple
did some film work? That's
of women's
incredible.
park skateboarding, and she gets, because she's only 14, she gets some sweet airtime and some good competition, some great Japanese
Yep.
skateboarders. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Arisa True, and I'm gonna be cheering for her. I mean, 14 years old. God,
Yep. I'm
that's
gonna
incredible.
go I'm gonna go similarly. It seems like this event, women's park skateboarding, and for those who are planning on watching the Olympics, you can watch park or street, and there are differences. Park, I think you said it, right? There's more like stuff to like grind on.
Yeah.
That's my skateboarding lingo. I'm gonna go Sky Brown. She's 16 years old. Great Britain, but with Japanese heritage. She's born in Japan. Her
What's
mother's
up with
Japanese. Her father's
Japanese
British.
skateboarders?
Yeah, her
Yeah.
father's British. She's going to skate for Great Britain. She is in a Nike campaign, or has been, with Simone Biles and Serena Williams. That's cool. She has been on Dancing with the Stars and won
Oh.
juniors edition, but
Uh.
I mean, she won that and she's in the Olympics for skateboarding. Okay, Sky Brown, super cool. She won the Dew Tour in 2022. Of course, Mountain Dew sponsors skateboarding. Why wouldn't it? So Sky Brown is my pick.
And what a cool
And
name.
yeah, and
What a cool
we
name.
are staying far away from the Americans. They spend too much time at Rocks Hill Park in West Seattle at the skate park doing things that are not good for you and not actually skating.
Uh,
It's my pick.
yeah.
All right, let's stay weird. How about men's climbing speed edition? So I think this is new in 2024. Am I right? I think this is a new
Yeah.
sport. Yeah. Rock climbing, which, my kids have done. Shout out to the Seattle Bouldering Project. Seattle Prep alum owns that as well, Kev, just so you
Where
know.
is that? Where is that?
There's a couple locations, but there's one down on Rainier. It's awesome.
Oh, nice.
It's very cool. Um, they had once they built the bar, that's when it really got good for me.
Oh, of
Because
course.
as you can imagine, I would have my kids go climb and then I would
Yeah.
partake. And
Yeah.
it was great. It was great. Dana would climb with them, do all the things that good parents
And
do.
yeah.
I was busy researching the 2024 potential speed climbers. And I think these people, I don't know how far they climb, but it's like under 5 seconds they get it done.
Yeah.
So this would be fast. You could probably watch highlights of this, honestly, and get it done. But there's a few potential medalists here, but you know which country I'm going for, and it's the US of A. And I'm going to go with Samuel Watson, who I know nothing about, but his name sure sounds like he could have been in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah. And he climbed that thing in 5.05 seconds in the 2023 Pan American Games, which is
Look at you. You've done
when
so
you're
much good research.
when you're doing research, this is like the prelims for before the Olympics is just like all over the place. Like there's not like one central place. Like
Yep.
not trial. Like there's the U.S. Olympic trials for some sports. Other
Yep.
sports, there's other
Yeah.
qualifiers.
Let me
But
give
yeah,
you a couple things about Sam Watson because I just Googled him. First of all, if you Google him and go to the US page, his picture is incredible. Secondly, hobbies, chess and Mario Kart. Favorite athlete, Manu Ginobili. Let's go, Sam Watson. I'm in.
Manu Ginobili. That's
Yeah,
pretty.
that's
Okay,
incredible.
so just by default, I'm gonna go with Wu Pang from
Yep.
China. I'm just guessing. That's what my notes say.
No,
So,
Wu Pang, China. Yeah, you know what, Kev? If you're not going to go America, go China, baby.
uh, all right.
Uh,
So it's my pick. We did men's and women's basketball. You know what? I'm gonna go with the U.S. and women's soccer.
oh, there we go. The patriotism.
All right. The other team here that's gonna give them trouble is Spain.
Hmm.
They're coming off of a World Cup win. Here's a fun fact:
Yeah.
after winning the World Cup, no other team has that team has not subsequently won the Olympic gold medal.
Well, I'm not picking Spain now, Kev. So,
Okay, so this U.S. Alex Morgan was playing the BFC yesterday. She's not
mhm.
on the team,
Yep.
and I think that's really indicative of what this team is now. It's
Yep.
not in a transition period, which it was in 2021 at the last Olympics, where they were kind of like the fading veteran team.
Yep.
Like that's what it was. And this team has had enough time to get their stuff together. I'm gonna go with the US. I think they're gonna have a couple of stars emerge. Um,
Yeah, you know what's interesting about soccer in the Olympics, and many people listening will know this, but the women, um, they get full squads, right? So we're seeing the USA's best team. They tied Costa Rica in a friendly, which wasn't a great sign. They can't seem to score right now, despite having Sophia Smith, Mal Swanson, and Trinity Rodman up top, which seems like it would be lethal, but they just can't score. So that'll be interesting to watch at the U.S. The men's Olympic soccer teams are under 23, except for you get, I think, two or three exceptions. So you won't see any of the U.S. men's team you just watched have a colossal failure in the Copa America. You will not see Pulisic. You will not see Tyler Adams. You won't see any of those people. There's not a single person from that team on the Olympic team. It's all young, up and coming people, which is exciting, but it's hard,
to get
right? It's like,
excited.
yeah, it's like watching minor league baseball. I like
Yeah.
baseball, but if I don't know the people, I'm not that excited about it. Um, it does look like, I don't know if this is right though. I think France, with their three exceptions, Mbappe is going to be one of their exceptions. So that's kind of cool for France. But
Not for everyone else.
speaking of France, I'm going to go with the French women as my pick instead of Spain because of that wonderful stat you gave me. And for the Baudry family, my wife's maiden name, which is French.
There you go. There you
All
go.
right. Is it my pick? It is, right?
It's your pick. Yep.
All right, Kev, let's go women's beach volleyball.
Mm,
There's men's beach volleyball, right? No one watches it. It's like
yeah.
not broadcast very often, I feel. Oh, Karch Karai, he was awesome back in the day. But I couldn't tell you who plays men's beach volleyball. Women's beach volleyball. Brazil and USA seem to be the picks here. I did you do any research on this? I just have names.
Kind of. Who are you gonna
Okay,
go
tell
with?
me. Well, I'm gonna go with Hughes and Chang. I'm going off the board.
Uh,
USA. Hughes and Chang. I
here's the
think they're the.
problem.
Yeah, tell me.
They both played at USC. I don't
Mm,
like USC.
fight on.
Nuss and Cloth is the other USA squad.
Yep.
They played at LSU. Not that I like LSU more,
Ooh, yeah.
but I just figure you get more practice at beach volleyball at USC than you do at LSU.
Oh, so I made a great pick.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. Um, where
Are you
do they
going?
play at
Are you going
LSU?
American or are you gonna go with this
No, no,
Brazil duo?
no. I'm gonna go with the LSU girls.
All right.
Woman, Nuss and Cloth.
Nuss and
Cloth with a
cloth.
K. Cloth with a
Cloth with the
K.
cloth with the K. LSU versus USC.
Yeah.
Big Ten versus SEC, I guess, right?
Yeah.
LSU's still in the SEC, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we'll just stick with volleyball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Men's
with
team volleyball.
yeah, go with Poland.
Oh, the favorite, Poland.
Yeah. 36 of the last 39 matches they've won since dating since June of last year.
Whoa, that's a great fact, Kev. Look
Yeah.
at you.
All right. There's a guy on their team named Wilfredo Leon.
Hmm.
He's a 30-year-old outside hitter who spent half of his life playing international volleyball. Here's what's interesting.
Yep.
He was born in Cuba, and so he's playing for the Cuban national team for a good portion of his life. And then he just decided at some point in 2012, I don't want to play for Cuba anymore.
Oh,
So he gets his Polish citizenship and becomes fully eligible for Poland in 2019.
whoa.
And he's the reason why they're so good.
That
So,
that's some great info. I like you rooting for Poland. I don't know if I like this guy leaving Cuba, to be honest, but who am I to judge?
well, Cuba had a dictatorship. They still do? Do they
That
still?
it's complicated.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's
All
open
right.
more than it
We're
used to
just
be.
yeah, we're inviting more trolls. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna have lots of trolls. But do you
But
know what I wrote? Do you know
they
what I
don't have
wrote my college essay to Santa Clara on? This is
Fidel
related.
Castro.
Yeah, I must have told you this before. Or no,
No,
we're
but
just talking
that's
about Cuba.
weird. Why? And you
Okay.
got in?
So the prompt was who would you have lunch with and why?
Oh my
And
gosh.
I wrote Fidel Castro and I was very like idealistic. And I said I would try to convince him that communism was bad. And
Oh man.
my connection point was that he went to a Jesuit high school actually, and so did I. And then we would have a connection, and then I would like convince him of his ways or something. I don't know. It sounds like it's a really bad essay.
Yeah.
And I not only did I get in, I got some sort of like gold star when I got in. They invited me to like an early acceptance thing or something.
Related. My college essay was about Seatown sports and how I wrote an
Oh
article about
wow.
the Sounders and how I didn't think that they would be relevant at all. I wrote this in 2009 when they first started.
Yep.
And the Gonzaga admissions director emailed me and said, this was such a cool essay. Um, and we'd love to have you here. I did not go to Gonzaga. But this is just the whole premise of the essay was talking about how there were trolls that were attacking me for attacking the Sounders. It was the biggest traffic day in Seatown sports history because someone posted my
Oh
article
wow.
on a forum,
Yeah.
got ripped to shreds.
Well, back to
Um,
the trolls, baby. We can't escape them. Kev, that's actually fascinating. That's really interesting full circle moment. I also got a call from Cuba when I wrote my no, I didn't. Nobody contacted me when I wrote my essay.
uh,
I was safe.
so who are you gonna
Um,
go with?
God, it's hard. It's either France or Italy. I feel like I already got, I don't know. I mean, I wish I had some fun fact about one of them, but I'm gonna go Italy. I'm just gonna go.
The best pick would have been Russia if they didn't get suspended because apparently
Oh,
they're really good at team volleyball.
well, because you know why?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Rocky Four? That's why. They got him on
uh,
treadmills, injecting him with all kind. Oh God! Please
God.
don't post this on a Russian Discord.
All right. We're dwindling with sports,
we're
and
we're getting closer to the end, and there's only two people listening still. But if they are, they're getting a broad overview of all these Olympic sports. It's awesome. So we've got all the track done. we've got a lot of the team sports, but here's one that a lot of people watch. A lot of people. The women's gymnastics all around. And people watch it a lot, but I think people are going to watch it this time maybe more than ever because of Simone Biles.
Yeah.
And I'm taking Simone Biles. Like
Yeah,
I
you have
I
to.
have to. And I
Yeah.
almost don't want you to pick someone else just so you can root for Simone Biles, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I watched her documentary on Netflix. Netflix is making a killing. They're just
Yeah.
like perfect timing,
They got
right?
receiver out now, which is
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Um I mean, Sunisa Lee,
Hmm.
she won the all around when Biles was out.
And
But
she's
that's who I'm
USA,
gonna
right? So you
yeah,
could
she's
just,
USA.
yeah.
Yeah, that's who I'm gonna go with.
Yeah,
But
perfect.
Simone Biles is like she's like Michael Phelps, right?
Yeah.
Like she's like Apollo Ono. She's like in that tier,
I
right?
don't know that I'd put Apollo Ono in the same tier, Gavin,
As Michael Phelps. Well, like I said, Michael
or Simone
Phelps.
Biles. Like Apollo Ono, I think was fascinating, and like because he was local to here, people like I don't. He's
Not that.
not. He's not. uh, I mean,
Ooh.
it's a debate point, I guess. I don't think he was. He's not Simone Biles or Michael Phelps. Come on,
Oh
he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
Carl Lewis.
All right, name one person in that category that's with Phelps and with Biles.
Just said it. Carl Lewis, track star,
Carl Lewis. So that's it.
1980s.
That's it.
I
That's the
think that's the
Rushmore.
tier. Those three. Well, I mean,
In Carl Lewis, he didn't dope, did he?
no, he lost to Ben Johnson. This was big in the 88 Olympics. This is formative in my youth. Ben Johnson,
Yeah.
whose biceps were bulging out of the TV
Is
for
it Mark
Canada,
McGuire?
beat
Mark
Carl
McGuire.
Lewis, and then he got in trouble for doping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carl Lewis butchered the national anthem once, though.
Ugh.
Um,
All right. What do we have
I don't know if you
left?
put like Mary Lou Retton in that category, like,
I haven't
but
heard of
like it
her.
was just a one and done, wasn't it? Wasn't she just like 1984? I don't know. I
Yeah.
got to stop talking because I don't know enough about
All
Olympics
right.
history.
So I think we're gonna finish with swimming.
We
That's
have
what we got left.
one more non-swimming, but
All
we
right.
could go to
Let's
breakdancing women.
yeah. I know nothing about breakdancing
New sport
in
again.
terms of like competing, but I was like reading the rules. Like
Hmm.
apparently they have to improvise according to the DJ. So
Oh,
there's gonna
let's
be
go.
some DJ just like mixing tracks and
Yep.
like if someone pays this DJ enough money, they could get the tracks that they want. This is
Ooh.
where my mind goes.
Ooh.
But I have no idea who's gonna be
Wait,
DJing.
do you think
Or
it'll be DJ Khaled?
that's too boring. That's too boring. He should just be yelling his own name.
DJ
He'd
Khaled.
be yelling his own name. It wouldn't be yeah.
Uh, and they
Sunny
just throw people off.
Choi, she's your name. But I was watching a competition. They like actually do like a thing where they like dance and then they point at the other person and the other person jumps in.
Oh,
And
heck
then
yeah.
there's like three judges.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on here. And
Yeah. This
this
is
is just
great.
like ripe for the fixing, right? Like, who do you pay off? Like, you pay off the judges, but you could also pay off the DJ. You could pay off the crowd if there's like a crowd because breakdancing is like all about like the crowd like cheering you
Yeah, but don't
on.
you think that people, I mean, you and I have not done a lot of breakdancing. Don't you think like the people who watch it would know? Like I'm thinking you could fix gymnastics, right? But like people who watch gymnastics know that this person didn't do as well as somebody else. So like sure you could fix it, but like the breakdancing community, the B-boys
Yeah,
and B-girls, as they say, Kev, would be
yeah,
like, nah, this person shouldn't have won.
yeah.
And then DJ Premier would come up and DJ Khaled would have a battle. And I mean, I can't wait for this. We're educating the people. Like nobody knew breaking was
Shout
coming.
out to the Massive Monkeys, the
Oh
local
yeah.
squad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope they're doing some type of live stream because I love their commentary during
Nice
this.
call. Who are
All
you
right,
picking, Kev?
Sunny Choi. If you
All
can come
right.
up with a different name, I applaud you.
I'm gonna pick. Okay. This is from whatever website I found. I don't even have a last name. It just says Lithuanian B girl, Nika, Nicka. So that's who I'll be picking. She goes by Nika and she's from Lithuania. So I didn't pick Ami from Japan. There's a Canadian b-boy named Phil Wizard. He's the 2022 world champion. I mean, I'm
Ugh.
100% watching breakdancing. Like, I don't know what I'll be watching, but I'm watching it. Quickly
Ugh.
before we finish with our sports. Uh, Baseball and softball are coming back next Olympics. So that'll be interesting. This Olympics, we have surfing as well, which do you know where surfing is happening in the Olympics?
No.
Fiji.
Oh, French territory.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Tricky.
yeah, it is
Kind of
tricky,
like it.
but yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, that was a sidebar. All right, we're finishing with swimming, and I
All
have the
right.
first pick, and we have a couple swimming events left for our Mega Olympics preview that only your sister and my mom are still listening to. Okay, here we go. 400 individual men's medley. Do I go off the board from the USA?
You have to if you want to beat me at this game.
I'm going to beat you anyway. USA all the way. Carson Foster, let's go. He's not even the favorite. I don't care. I'm all for the USA.
He did finish second.
Yep. That means you get the
Um,
favorite. You going to take him?
yeah, I get Marchand, the
Leon
hometown.
Marchand.
He's getting comparisons to Phelps.
Yeah, that's probably
Same
a bad pick
coach,
by me.
same coach as Phelps. First swimmer ever in the event to clock in under 4.02. I'm gonna go with Marchand.
So you're telling me Carson Foster has no chance? I'll get
He's
2 points for the silver
yeah,
medal.
yeah.
All right, you're up. And
It's worth the read.
here's what we have left. We have the 400-meter freestyle women, and we
No, no,
have the
no. Oh yeah, we
yeah, and
do.
we have the 4x1 men's freestyle.
All right, I'm just gonna stick with my theme and just go with Titmus in the 400-meter freestyle women's.
Okay, so that leaves me with an interesting choice because Katie Ledecky is legendary. I don't know if she's Phelps legendary, right? In that tier. But I also Summer McIntosh is in the mix. But I want to root for Katie Ledecky. So sorry, Summer McIntosh. Katie Ledecky to me, which leaves us with one more. The 4x1 men's freestyle. And even though Australia is good, I'm going USA, baby. What are you going
Looks like
with?
I mean I think I'm gonna go with
There's actually a couple other good countries here.
yeah, but I don't like Italy
Yeah,
and I don't
Great
like
Britain has
China.
been good lately.
I read somewhere that like they were criticizing Great Britain's like I was on like a swim blog
Oh
and
boy.
they're like
You're the
criticizing
Marta of swim blogs.
they were criticizing the coaches like decisions on who they like chose to race like
Oh,
but I like the intrigue so I'm gonna go with Great Britain.
okay. That's truly an independence battle. I think we did it, Kev. I think we did every event painstakingly long. Actually, it wasn't. It was fun for me.
Yeah.
This is gonna be great. We're gonna track it. We're gonna put it somewhere up on the Substack. We'll do some updated rankings as we go along because people will want to know who's wearing the T-shirt of the other person's school.
uh so do we do top five? We're
I
already
got a
been
top
past
five for you if you're ready.
all right, yeah, I'll do it. I'll
It's
do it.
Olympic themed.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think this is too random. I think, and I'll give you some hints if you need to.
All right.
Okay. So 1992 Dream Team. Everybody knows the Dream Team. This year's Olympic men's basketball team, as we talked about earlier, some people are saying might be as talented as that team. I think the
Heck
next
no.
best team is the Redeem team from 2008 after they did not medal or whatever happened in 2004 that the US men's basketball team failed, right?
Yep.
2008, can you name the top 5 scorers on that team?
All right, here we go. I have watched the Netflix documentary.
Okay. You should be able to get,
Kobe Bryant,
yep,
Dwayne Wade,
yep,
Tyson Chandler.
not top 5. Actually, not on that team.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a strike. So I
Carmelo
can,
Anthony.
yes, you're 3. You got two more. One you should definitely get.
Is LeBron James on the team?
That's a good guess.
Yes, he was on the team.
LeBron James, yes. So you have
Oh
four.
my
Now the
god.
fifth is a center, not Tyson Chandler. Was really good in 2008. Do
Ooh,
you want
this is
another hint?
yes.
I'm going to give you two NBA teams he played for. This should give it to you. Orlando Magic, Houston Rockets.
All right. Too easy. Dwight Howard.
Let's go, Kev. See, I think that's what we got to do,
All
though.
right,
You know, the top five,
we can
we
go
got to
fast enough here.
we got to
I'll
give
give you
each
mine.
other a
I'll give you
little.
mine.
Yeah.
I'll give you
Okay.
mine. Name the 5 coaches that have won gold medals for the U.S. men's basketball team.
Ooh. Wait, how far back are we going?
92.
Okay, because they won gold before that. Like Bobby Knight won in 1984, so I should get that one. Okay, 92 is Chuck Daly.
One.
Okay, Greg Popovich.
Yep, 2020.
Ooh, the in between is tough. Man, wait, who is the redeem? Oh, Krzyzewski
Yeah.
was the dream team, redeem team, right?
Yeah. Well, he won in 08, 012,
Yeah, and then
in
Popovich was the
2016.
and then
Yeah. So,
Popovich was the last one. So I've got to get between. I got to get 96 and 2000, right?
or 2004.
But they didn't win in 2004. I know who the 2004 coach was. It was George Karl.
I think you're getting them mixed up.
I
I think
am. Oh,
you're
I'm mixing up with like a FIBA World Championship where they failed. That's what happened,
all right, I'll give you a
right?
hint. This coach coached was on the Huskies staff last year.
Oh, Larry Brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Larry Brown and well,
I got
let's
Bobby
see.
Knight, even though he should be one. So I should have five, but that's not since 92. Let me think. 96. I mean, Phil Jackson was never the USA coach.
No. Which is interesting.
Um, it wasn't. So 96, the Sonics were awesome. Jerry
Oh,
Sloan
hot.
was
You're getting hot.
what?
You're getting hot. You said
George Karl
Sonics.
did not win a gold medal.
No. No. Sonics related though.
It's not PJ Carlesimo, is it?
1996. Lenny Wilkins.
He was the coach in 1996.
Yes. In
Wow.
Atlanta. Yeah. I need to correct the record because I said Larry Brown, but he was the guy that won bronze in Athens. So I
Well,
was
your
wrong
top
there.
five is a colossal failure, Kev. It didn't even make sense. And I said Bobby Knight, who won a gold medal as the
Yeah.
coach of the
Yeah.
like
Yeah. You're right. You
it's
did. You
it's
won. You
this
won.
is
You're
what
right.
happened. I remember this from 10 years ago. Once we get past a certain time of night, you lose it. You're like too sleepy, and you do have a young child. I will
Yeah.
I will say you
Yeah.
probably lack a little sleep. You're a
Yeah.
hardworking man,
Yeah.
but oof, top five. We'll have
Sorry.
a better top five next week. You will
Sorry,
have a
Larry
better one
Brown.
for you'll have a better
Sorry.
one for me.
Marta is just she's getting people to unsubscribe.
Marta's just like, get on Spotify. These guys and their Olympic knowledge is ridiculous. Unsubscribe. She's gonna be
Um
standing outside your house in the Bay Area with a sign that says
sorry,
Kev
Larry.
sucks.
I feel so bad about the Larry Brown thing. Dude got a bronze.
Steve Kerr is gonna bring it home for the USA this year, though.
All right.
It's gonna happen.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining our 2 hour episode. If you
it's not
stuck with us,
it's not two
please
hours.
text me and tell me that you made it through all the way to the end. I have a special prize for you. We have a special prize for you.
That's great. That's great.
Um,
It's a great Olympics preview. I encourage everybody. It doesn't happen. Obviously, it's every 4 years. The Olympics are awesome. And now, when you go watch breakdancing, you'll be like,
skateboarding, park skateboarding
yeah,
too.
but you'll be like, number one, is DJ Khaled coming out? Number two, I know some names. That's what we did for the people. And we learned, lastly, the most important thing, I am a patriot and you are not.
On that note,
See you next week.
see you next week. Peace.